Joining me now, Ontario Liberal leader Stephen Duca. Mr. Duca, good to have you back on the program. Okay, the writ will essentially drop tomorrow. Your party's leaving the legislature with 7 seats at dissolution. What is the main challenge? What is the main framing of this election?
Well, first of all, as you mentioned, Evan, the next election is effectively underway. The future of this province, of course, is at stake, and there's a clear choice in this election campaign between the Ford Conservatives, who want to continue to drag this province backwards with policies that will largely make only the richest a lot more rich, and Ontario Liberals, who are determined to make this province a place to grow healthy, a place to grow old, a place to grow sustainably, with a positive plan for our province's future. And that's what we are determined to deliver.
Well, it looks like he's buddying up with Justin Trudeau. Yesterday, they each put in $500 million in Windsor and Brampton, the auto plants. Justin Trudeau standing shoulder to shoulder with Doug Ford on the eve of an election looked like a political gift, and it looks like they're both investing and doing industrial support. Did that hurt your pitch that he's regressive? It looks like he's in line with the Liberal government in Ottawa.
Well, first of all, I think Justin Trudeau was governing yesterday, but everyone in this province knows that Doug Ford has been campaigning for months rather than doing the responsible thing to lead and govern this province. Look, I welcome investment into Ontario. I want good jobs in Windsor, Essex, and elsewhere. I'm an electric vehicle owner, so of course I love that technology. But we know that Doug Ford is someone who doesn't support electric vehicles. We know he got rid of the incentive program. And we know, again, that he is going to drag Ontario backwards. That's why Ontario Liberals are focused on making this province a place to grow. And we have the ideas and the new Liberal team that will be able to deliver on that.
You know, he's going to say, well, we've invested billions and billions of dollars in the battery plant and the auto industry. That's to grow. You recently proposed buck a ride on public transit until 2024. That will cost over $700 million in year one and $1.1 billion the year after that. Right. Where does that money come from?
So when we release our platform over the next several days, it will be fully costed. And the good news is that it's a plan that's balanced, it's responsible, and it will be delivered upon by a new Ontario Liberal government. Last Thursday, we saw Doug Ford present a budget that contained no plan. And we saw a platform days ago from the NDP, a platform that had no numbers. So you got a budget without a plan, a platform without numbers. Ontario Liberals instead have positive ideas. The ideas do have numbers to back them up. You'll see that when we release the platform. But I will also say that over the last number of months, I've released more new ideas with more numbers attached to them than either of the other two parties combined. So our plan is about the future. It's about moving this province forward, and we'll get that job done in the right way. But
let me just tell you, I spoke with the mayor of Windsor, Ontario yesterday, Drew Dilkins, during that announcement.
Right.
And I asked him about the buck a ride. He panned it. He called it a political stunt, saying people need better services, not cheaper rides. Let me just show you what he said on this program last night.
I hear from very, very few people about the cost of transit, recognizing that a monthly pass for the average user is really, we're talking about filling up a tank of gas, about $90 in the city of Windsor. And so this may play well in the GTHA, but in a city like mine, what riders want is actually better service. They want to be able to connect to transit services in adjoining and adjacent municipalities and further into Essex County. And so I think it's a bit of a, it's a bit of a political stunt, and transit is already so highly subsidized from the municipal tax base that to think of, going to a buck a ride, how much do we have to spend to move the needle? Probably almost nowhere at all.
So what's your response to that? We don't need, people will pay for rides, he says, public transit, but what they want is better service.
Yeah, so I believe that we need both in Ontario. Former Minister of Transportation for 3.5 years. I know we have to invest in expanding transit, but we're in the midst of an affordability crisis. We've seen ridership on municipal and provincial transit, including in Windsor, drop during the pandemic. I want more people everywhere in Ontario taking public transit, and I want to make sure that we do have more service. By the way, that's why, in addition to buck a ride province-wide, we've also said we will give municipalities like Windsor an additional $375 million to support transit operations. It shouldn't be either or. Right. It's got to be both when it comes to public transit. Again, this is a clear choice between us and the Ford Conservatives who want to take Ontario backwards.
I just wonder when you say that, like Doug Ford, He's got this childcare deal he agreed with the federal government. I've talked about the $1 billion investment for electric vehicles and battery production in places like Windsor and Brampton.
Right.
His budget doesn't look like he's got a plan to balance it. What distinguishes your party from the PC party at this point? Will you have balanced budgets? What is the distinguishing feature here?
So again, you talked about his budget from last Thursday. I couldn't make out a coherent plan for Ontario's future coming out of that budget, which, by the way, the lack of a coherent plan is fairly typical of Doug Ford. Throughout the last 4 years, we've watched him and his team flip, then flop, then flail. This kind of chaos and the kind of cuts they've delivered to Ontario families, they're not good enough for this province. So as I have been saying over the last number of days, Ontario Liberals will make this province a place to grow again. We're going to make sure you can grow old because we're going to ban for-profit long-term care and put home care first. We're going to make sure you can grow sustainably by planting 800 million trees and delivering $1 transit fares. We're going to make sure you can grow your family by properly funding and supporting publicly funded education. That's a stark difference between what we will do for the future and how Doug Ford wants Ontario to go backwards.
Well, the key is let's see the numbers. As the Ottawa Mayor Jim Watson said, those are promises. We want to make sure that there's actual money to back it, and we'll see when the numbers come out as this campaign kicks off. Ontario Liberal leader Stephen Del Duca, thank you, sir. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Evan. Take care.